The more we rely on each other, the less effort we put in. If everyone does it, then the whole system collapses actually. So you really have to rely upon someone being the good guy.
So imagine you're in college or in school. People very often study in groups, and there's usually one group who does very well, everybody does very well in that group, and another group in which everybody does poorly.
And we ask ourselves, why is that? What's the reason for that?
The obvious reason for this is that we know students choose their own friends. So the good students are going to be with the good students and the bad students are going to be with the bad students. We wanted to look beyond this. We wanted to understand what is the mechanism of interaction that takes place within these groups.
So basically we chose a setting where people didn't have the choice to select who they were sitting with. They were actually randomly allocated in classes.
We recall that when we were undergrads together at Bocconi University in Milan, students were randomly allocated to groups. So Bocconi is in the northwest of Italy. I'm from Verona, which is in the northeast, and Giacomo is from the very south, Lecce. There were very few chances that we could choose to be friends, but we were randomly assigned to the same group. And what we found is that even when students do not choose their own classmates, the people they study with, still the performances of the students who study in the same group are very similar. So you still find that there are groups in which all the students do well and other groups in which all the students do bad. Consider this example. Giacomo and I are in the same group. We study together in the afternoon, and in the morning we go and attend lectures of, say, Econ 101. At some point during the lecture, Giacomo receives a text message on his cell phone from his girlfriend. He knows that he can take the time to check his phone because I haven't received a message from my girlfriend, and I will be able to follow the material presented by the professor and explain that material to him in the afternoon. And he's going to do the same when the reverse happens. So when I receive a text message from my girlfriend or from his girlfriend, you never know, right? So there are a variety of situations in which people can rely on each other when they are in groups. And by doing this, we are overall all putting less effort into learning the material that's presented in class. Even when students do not have a choice to select the groups, we still observe groups that do very well and groups that do very bad. And this cannot be due to the simple fact that good students stick with the good students and the bad students stick with the bad students. This has to do with something that happens within the groups, and that's what we study.
And that something actually shows up when people are put together in the same environment for a long enough period of time.
We show that the group that does poor, so the group of the bad students, has been interacting together for a longer period of time than the group of the students who do well. The explanation for the differences in performances across groups cannot be the selection of people into the different groups, but it seems to have to do with how intensively they interact in the group or for how long they have been together.
What happens is that they will start relying upon each other too much. And when you start relying upon each other too much, what happens is that you don't put enough effort into the task at hand.
We moved in different directions afterwards. So Giacomo went to do his PhD at UCL and I was at LSE. We don't want to rely on each other too much. That would lower our performance.
We're sort of trying to follow our own advice. We're basically working together, but not on everything.
If we were always working together, we wouldn't be learning from other people.
The big lesson for students is stick together, but not for too long.